Hello and welcome everyone to week 5 of MPA 580 Legal and Ethical Issues. My name is Greg Zarko and this week we will be discussing ethics. So as a quick overview, this week I will be providing a brief introduction and information on why ethics are important for our organization. I will provide our employees with a brief theoretical foundation on which the ethical practices will be based on. I will also provide the employees with an overview of why a code of ethics is important for our agency. I will briefly provide an ethical scenario that they may encounter specific to our agency, and finally, I will provide thoughts on how to address it. Ethics are important because they provide accountability between the public and administration. Adhering to a code of ethics ensures that the public receives what it needs and in a fair manner. It also gives the administration guidelines for integrity in their operations. That integrity in turn helps foster the trust of the community. With today's technology, when an officer makes a mistake or acts out of their official duties, that situation gets spread nationally within minutes, and anyone who is wearing the uniform gets questioned. To counter the negative press and to contribute to the overall positive image of law enforcement, individuals should strive to promote ethics and professionalism not only within the department, but also in ways that the community can recognize. Law enforcement might not be able to share the details about arrests, drug busts, or pending investigations, but we do encourage officers to cooperate with the media with professionalism and tact and to be careful about positive professional word choice when speaking to members of the public. As police officers in this department, we use a combination of theories to base out an ethical foundation. Thomas Hobbes had the theory of contractarianism, and in this theory, it states that your moral choices are based off agreements that we have with each other and with others. The agreement this department has with our society is that we will enforce the laws and regulations that society has deemed as a majority to be legal and illegal. Also, Aristotle's virtue theory states that we should act with the appropriate action at the appropriate time. Pretty much it says that we should do the right thing at the right time at all times. And as people, we are far from perfect. But while wearing the uniform, we should be as close to perfection as humanly possible. The public has entrusted us with their needs and in some cases very urgent matters and rely on us to act ethically and morally right. An ethics code is an absolute necessity for law enforcement agencies. They provide an ethical and moral compass for our officers, and they include such standards like treating everyone with respect, not to discriminate against a person based on their gender, race, religion, a social background, or disabled status, and never use the position to garner favors, nor imply that favors could be gained. But in my opinion, at the very top should be to always maintain the highest integrity, honesty, and impartiality. I think we can all agree that every shift is different. We can't control the kind of day it is, we can't control the type of situation we might find ourselves in that day, and we can't control how the public will react to that situation. What we can control is how our day starts. Um, Taking money by force or coercion is a crime, but so is committing time card fraud, and it can start with an honest mistake. At times you might forget to clock in or out for the day, and you might also forget the exact time you arrived at work. But if this happens more than once, it can develop into a pattern of bad habits, which could turn into a culture of bad habits depending on who's watching. Since police departments are funded by taxpayers' money, there are oversight committees who look at the standards and practices, such as time card fraud. But even if no one is looking, we should remember what Aristotle would say that we should do, which is to do the right thing at all times. How should you handle yourself if you find a fellow officer committing time card fraud? Well, I learned a long time ago that the loyalty that you pledge is to the service and not to the individual next to you, who in this scenario is breaking the law. And it is important to remember that we as a department all face the scrutiny that comes from an individual's poor judgment, even after they may be long gone. All right, so that concludes my presentation for the week. Thank you for listening. I look forward to listening to yours. Have a good week and God bless.